Right, sparkane did a wonderful job, I think. On his recent video, really hit some nails on the head. And if there's one thing that Scorching Minds does with our platform when we have members there, as well as just looking for the best on YouTube, it's one of the things that we do is just genuinely, honestly, have a genuine and honest approach. Look for logical consistency, something that backs itself up automatically within its own arena of information. Things that don't hide behind accusations, particularly, look at negative exponents. So he later had the balls to say, "Oh, there is no evidence," but the approach is fucking stupid. It was like, "I'm not coming forward with any evidence because Cheshire Vic is live." If you're that passionate, this is what the haters generally do. Is like, if you are that passionate about your so-called evidence, and you keep going on and on and on about your so-called evidence, why don't you just release it? But if you keep going on and on repetitively, like a mantra, just keep repeating over and over because you don't like somebody, you and it just advertises you haven't got evidence, but you want to just try really, really hard to convince people that you have. That's what Jason does. So, after seeing your video, Sly, I think it's worth putting your name up, asking people to subscribe to you. You got way more than I have, and that is not a problem. Whereas Jason will see something like that, a community have a massive amount of subscribers, and he wants to split that apart. He wants to siphon off views. He wants to cause paranoia within good communities. It's not going to happen with the community because they check one another in a friendly way. They give each other constructive criticism. You can push back on things, and disagreements maybe might happen here and there. Friendly disagreements. How Steve even goes on a show called Agree to Argue or Agree to Disagree. Is it? I correct me. I'm not sure which it is. I don't tend to watch it, but and Steve looks for, again. He's made a point of looking for people who are consistent with themselves. Cheshire, you make an important point. Is like you don't like when things are not consistent. You want consistency. I wholeheartedly agree, 100%. When things aren't consistent, not intuitive, not logical, it winds me the fuck up. It really does. There's many aspects like that in this world. Sometimes it's due to my own ignorance, I think, though, in which I don't understand something. It doesn't seems not consistent sometimes. But when it comes to these haters, of course, all they keep doing is repeating. We got evidence. We got evidence. Look at Jason. Prove. He keeps using these words, proven, provable, excessively, like some weird nervous tick, like some kind of Tourette's tick. No offense to anyone who's got Tourette's. Comes in many different forms, but it's not the case with Jason anyway. So empty. I mean, it's so weak. The Jason keeps digging though and flying the shit everywhere as he digs, and he forgets what he's flung. I mean, look at this. In this particular order, Steve approaches Jason in the early days when they were still somewhat friendly over a short space of maybe a month and a bit. Not 9 months like he tried to blur it out to his crowd he's got now. No, that's not true. He's a compulsive liar for the views and the drama anyway. Regardless, when Jason was approached by Steve, said, "Go over this with Katie Joy Paulson," being being a vindictive bitch, which he is. Steve was trying to say to Jason then, you got some things wrong about it. We need to go over it. It's very important to correct some things. So Jason then, because he can't handle that, he can't handle being told he got some things wrong. It's fucking childish, because he's addicted to his fantasy of superiority rather than having any true desire to improve who he actually is. I find it more rewarding to improve on who I really am than it would be for some addiction to some fake persona, fake live action role play bullshit with an idea that has me rather than me having the idea. I mean, really, I'm not gonna sell myself in that way. Jason's a fake and a fraud and a scammer. Everything he claims everyone else is. That's how he can come up with the idea, and it is very much projection because he has no insight. So if you're not really analysing what you're going to put out to start with, am I right? Am I wrong? How shall I present this? That kind of internal thinking, then it's all just going to fly out based on who you actually are inside. Accusations of others. Here's the paradox of narcissism. Narcissistic, egotistic people say, oh, they love themselves too much. What they love is a fake fantasy idea of what they want you to buy into. What they hate and don't have the time for, or don't have the bollocks to deal with, is who they really are. So they hate themselves, really, even though it might seem like they love themselves. They love the idea, the ideology. They love the fantasy. This is what Jason does. He's embedded into this fake fantasy of some deep dive investigator, and it's what he's selling to you. He's like a snake oil salesman, buying all this bullshit. He's a scam artist. Interesting how he projects that. So there's an analysis for you. And it happens all the time. Every single time you see a boasting title of what someone's about, you guarantee you're not. Because they wouldn't have to boast otherwise. People would just eventually come to you if it was that good. Subscribe to sparkane. He deserves it. Even though he's got, 6,000 plus subscribers now. I still think he deserves to grow. And no, I'm not doing this for clout. I'm doing it for Exploring Minds looks for that. I certainly, I love the analysis of this. Manya did a great analysis of the fuckery that Jason come up with when he got told he got some things wrong by Steve. Subscribe to her. She's worth subscription. If she's not that many videos, but give her some support. Definitely, I think she's well worth supporting. Anyone out there is worth supporting who are genuine, honest, say they have evidence, and immediately show it and express it. Not secret evidence. We have some secret evidence. If you're that passionate about your evidence, and you keep going on and on and on about your evidence, why haven't you released it? Because there isn't any. Particularly from Jason in this way. That's what he does. Now, I know people have said, stop making videos. This is not a reply to Jason. Whether people reply to him or make videos about him or not, he's going to keep doing what he does. He's too weak-minded to know what to do. He's dug himself a hole, or if you like, painting himself into a corner. This shit he keeps throwing is imploding. I predicted an implosion many months ago, and it's been a bit slow progress of, but now it's picking up more and more momentum of the shit he keeps lying around and he doesn't want to deal with, because there's that comfortable fantasy. He doesn't want to deal with it, and he just leaves evidence of his fuckery lying on the road of progress, and people kind of point out, clean up for him. That the Unirock shitpile playlist is getting bigger. That's a good point. Thank you, Sly, for that. Add your video to that playlist. I don't know how many videos it is now, that playlist, but every single YouTuber on that playlist, the different YouTubers, are pointing out the same problem that everyone's saying about Jason. His claims don't have any evidence for his claims. His attempts at smear campaigning, defamation, attacking communities, and it always starts with a like, oh, you got some things wrong, or disagreement. Look at Brainy Beaver, another perfect example, one of multiple ones. Brainy didn't like some of the approach that Jason was doing, so Jason goes and attacks Brainy Beaver then. Unfucking real. Jason attacks a whole community as well because, oh, Steve told you got some things wrong. I don't like Steve, therefore anyone associated with Steve, I'm going to attack them as well. You childish, pathetic piece of shit. Really. Let me add that to playlist anyway. Unirock's shitpile. Thank you, Sly. Your video, just over 1 hour long, is... I'm going to play a bit of audio from that. And it slams a nail on the head. Multiple points you had slammed a nail on the head. But this is advertises Jason's model of his approach to reality, and it is very embedded into his psyche now because he's done it for so long, and he caused himself to be a socially dysfunctional piece of crap, basically. Plenty of evidence for that. I'll keep using your name, Jason Smith, not your YouTube username, because at this point we all know who we're talking about. I could say more, but there's many things I'm not going to confirm or deny. I leave that to, it all come out in the wash. Certainly. Let's see if I press play. Hopefully I'm at the right point on Sly's video. If not, we're trying to find the right timeline. So I'm going to mute myself and press play and listen very carefully how Jason thinks.
Yeah, if I just talk shit about somebody over and over and over again.
Okay, that was Sly talking. He talks a little bit before that. Let me find that. Again, amazing video. Well worth watching. I'll put the link below, so go and subscribe to Sly's Sparkane. And I said I wasn't going to make many videos on this. This will go on unlisted anyway, because this is not what this channel is about. But occasionally things have to be done. Jason will keep attacking, whether people make videos or not. He will. It doesn't matter. He's too addicted to this bullshit to give up. He doesn't know how. Addiction is a powerful thing, and especially delusion and denial is even more powerful. He just will not be able to stop. Even if he wants to, he just really tries hard to, he won't. You've heard him say it. I'm sick of doing this, blah blah blah, but he'll keep doing it as long as people call him out on his bullshit. Because he's a snake oil salesman. He wants you to buy the bullshit and give nothing back. Just take all those donos in. He's a scam artist.
over again with very unscientific and
on the back
do
part
a
of my
breakdown
video
of
that
the
he's
Apollo
playing.
program on YouTube, you know, and I got so extremely pissed. I almost threw.
you know, it always gets me because it's weird. No flat earther ever thinks that. Wouldn't it be like, let's just say you didn't like the United States, that you hated the United States, or you're very much against the United States.
Okay, now give it a second. Now just take his words, the United States, as, I don't know, any other.
By the way, though, Jason, the United States is not the be-all and end-all of scientific discovery. A big, large percent of your scientific prowess comes to America from elsewhere. Certainly, Michio Kaku, theoretical physicist, Japanese descent, Elon Musk, from South Africa, and multiple others. You do have some of your homegrown as well, but United States is not the leader of scientific discovery itself because of its own existence necessarily isn't. But then we're talking about Jason here, who thinks the moon's phases are caused by Earth's shadow. Let me press play and just listen. This is his model and his approach.
Subject like Reds or Sean or Steve or anybody like that, because he's making an analogy here, so I'm just replacing the target of the analogy.
Wouldn't it be the most effective kind of propaganda to convince people in the current age that extremely, let's call it patriotic or big accomplishments that the country banded together to accomplish, trying to convince people over and over and over again with very unscientific and propagandistic attempts that those things.
What's he do to try and convince people of things that there is no evidence for? He just keeps repeating it over and over and over again. Claiming he's got evidence, and evidence coming up next video. Oh, evidence coming up next video. And nobody ever sees the so-called coming up evidence. We got some super secret evidence. If it's super secret, why bother talking about it? It's no longer a secret then. But also, if you're that passionate about it being proven, because it keeps saying that, we got proven evidence, provable, proven, provably. Excessive use of those words. Really, really excessive, like it's some kind of nervous twitch. Repetitive over and over use of those words. If you got it, and you're that passionate, why aren't you releasing it? If you're not that passionate, you don't seem to be, about truth, then just shut the fuck up and do the right thing, because it's the right thing to do, which is be genuine, honest, and try and be the better person than he was yesterday or the last moment. But no, it's too much like hard work for Jason. And yet he would put all this energy to sit in front of his computer for hours on end. The front door has a handle. You turn it and it opens. Get the fuck out and get a life. It says me in front of the computer doing this, but I'll be out now in a minute. It's a beautiful day. Going to utilise it and I'll walk around and do a bit of shopping and get some time for myself before I get back to work, which should be on the 12th. I think I'm still waiting on a phone call about that. The 12th of this month coming up. I should get a phone call tomorrow actually about work. So don't go thinking I won't stop making videos. This certainly, just because I'm going to be busy back to work, doesn't mean there's going to be more videos from me. But coming up, there'll probably be more consistency with the other channel. Have many things written down for an article coming at Exploratory Minds, and a video for maybe a set of videos on that subject, or maybe 2 or 3. We'll see how it goes. See how go approach that. There's always work being done at Exploratory Minds. We deliberately look for logical consistency. We don't look for those who keep overly boasting or repeating they got some proof of something and not offering you any proof. And menace to sobriety, you could not be more pathetic if you tried. It really is like Jason's a ventriloquist, and Menace is his puppet. Why don't you just tell Jason you love him that much? You're just actually in love with Jason. It would seem. Commit a closet or something. I mean, I can't think of any other reason why you're so much of a sucker towards. And I'm not kink shaming or gay bashing or whatever. If that's your thing, so be it. But at least stop being so hateful. Yeah, it's just a theory. Are you in love with Jason? Perhaps. I don't know. But at this point, it's just so pathetic. Let's press the play, and you just listen to Jason's model and his approach that Sly pointed out. And it's not just this one thing that Sly said in his video. He has many points, and just over an hour long. I think people should subscribe to him because he deserves it. I've seen some other videos. He goes over things in a manner that is very logical and consistent, and I think it's well worth rewarding. Again, if that was an article on Exploratory Minds, we'd give a shout out. It's not necessarily that we would put it necessarily on our main blog, because it's about this piece of crap, Jason. But certainly we give some in the live feed, we give shout outs there as well. So I'll do that later today. I'll tweet out Jason. Actually, I'll put in the chat room. I'll tweet out not Jason, Sly Sparkane. We won't give Jason any recognition on Exploratory Minds. Even his username is banned on Exploratory Minds. Anyway, you type it in, and it links to the shitpile playlist that I've made. So let's press play anyway and mute myself.
Those patriotic events are fake. That'd be great propaganda for people that hate the U.S. I don't know why no flat earther thinks of that. They act like it's just, hey, who needs science to prove this? Let's just say it over and over and over and over again.
So who needs critical thinking, science, or analysis to prove anything, right? Just keep saying it over and over and over and over again. Which Sly, I'm not trying to copy you, Sly, but it is what you point out. So rewind that a little bit. I'll shut up and I'll let the whole thing go in a nutshell. I'll let Sly do his thing for us.
It's me because it's weird. No flat earther ever thinks that. Wouldn't it be like, let's just say you didn't like the United States, that you hated the United States, or you're very much against the United States.
Okay, now give it a second. Now just take his words, the United States, as, I don't know, any other subject like Reds or Sean or Steve or anybody like that. Because he's making an analogy here, so I'm just replacing the target of the analogy.
wouldn't it be the most effective kind of propaganda to convince people in the current age that extremely, let's call it patriotic or big accomplishments that the country banded together to accomplish, trying to convince people over and over and over again with very unscientific and propagandistic attempts that those patriotic events are fake? That'd be great propaganda for people that hate the U.S. I don't know why no flat earther thinks of that. They act like it's just, hey, who needs science to prove this? Let's just say it over and over and over and over again.
See how that works? Thank you for explaining what you think that is a great idea. If you don't like somebody, you just make up some propaganda about them and say it over and 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 over again. That is Uni's MO. That is what Uni's been doing. That's why there is no super secret proof. That's why there is no email. That's why there is none of this. And that's also, even though it's pretty creepy to find out in the background that they're actually trying to impersonate people just to find out information to support this guy. The guy who, this was August of wow, this was right around that time. This is August 2019, where Uni was pretty much saying, hey, wouldn't that be a great idea if I just talk shit about somebody over and over and over again? And that would be a great plan.
There we go. It's Jason Smith in a nutshell. One day, Steve said, you got some things really wrong. We need to go over it. He's so addicted to his fantasy that he's trying to sell you that he's always right, and a deep dive investigator and super cool or whatever fucking bullshit he thinks, that he couldn't handle being told he got some things wrong. The playlist that I created points that problem out from multiple YouTubers. Not what happened just with Steve. Multiple cases have happened with other people. Same bullshit that happened with Brainy Beaver. Brainy didn't agree with Jason's approach on some things. Jason didn't like it. Bans Brainy Beaver off his channel. Starts a smear campaign. Brainy Beaver. If you don't like somebody, keep repeating bullshit about them over and over and over. That's the weak piece of shit that Jason is. 100%. Go and subscribe to sparkane, because I thought his video was so on point. There's some things that I've said myself. Where was I put a comment underneath his video? Let's not to paraphrase myself, but yeah, 45 minutes in and 52 seconds in. I said the same thing over and over. Be credible or lose more and more. So that's the evidence of Jason's lack of credibility just keeps more and more piling up. Jason likes to selectively forget that his shit he leaves behind is still on the internet. His face is all over the internet. Periscope, YouTube, Dailymotion, some old videos on Dailymotion, DLive, other places. His attempts at fraudulently getting support for his lies will be the pile of shit to collapse in on him. This is gonna bury him. This is why you end up with Unirock 2, and this is why he's got multiple channels. I got 2 channels. That's all I need, because I'm genuine and honest. This channel is a bit more random than the other channel. This channel's was going to be, and it still is, it still will be occasionally, like things coming for Exploring Minds, and then the other channel will be as it comes. Alright? And when it's ready. Like the articles I'm working on, there'll be videos on that on the other channel. He has a history of this. He's been doing this for a long time, which has caused him to be that dysfunctional. He doesn't know what else to do. He's caused that much retaliation. He has to blurt out the excuse of anyone new he comes across and saying, "Oh, I got several trolls," like it was doing from day one with AT2 Productions. Before he even bullshitted his ass out with Steve and shat all over Steve, he was already attacking AT2 or complaining about, oh, he's got trolls. If you're absolutely brand new to somebody, you don't. The very first thing you do isn't like, oh, I got many trolls, or, you know, I got drama, I got this. But he was doing that already. Everybody has trolls and haters on the internet. Everyone. Well, not every single user of the internet, but if you put out content like on YouTube or you have your own website or whatever you're doing, you're gonna get something here and there because there are losers like Jason, and even worse than that, there's puppeteered idiots that are puppeteered by losers like Jason, like Menace to Sobriety. I mean, seriously, man. What the fuck? It's pretty sad. It's very unfortunate. So that's all I got to say, really. You know, it just, that bit of audio snippet really rammed it home. I've never seen anyone project as much as Jason. There's some people who come close, who are haters, and it's always the haters that project to this level because they're not checking what the reality is inside them, and they're colouring the world by everything that's inside them. If the longer you don't check yourself, the more the erroneous bullshit just piles up inside. It's kind of like a paradox. People see narcissistic, egotistic people as, oh, they love themselves. They don't. They hate themselves. What they love is the fake persona, the fake fantasy of what they're trying to convince you they are. And they get a kick out of that. They feel good. It might give them a buzz about achieving something within that fake bubble, or you know, convincing somebody else that they achieved something, perhaps. But it's very temporary. It's not a long-term achievement. It's very short-lived. So they have to go and try again. See what's happening here? I mean, look at Carl Curtis. How often has he repeated over and over and over again the same problem, avoiding to turn up to court? With other cases, by the way, he has a whole history of felonies and criminal history, which, by the way, Jason supported a GoFundMe to support a criminal. The projection right there, all over again. His own GoFundMe was set up. Jason's own GoFundMe in 2017 was set up with titled "Exposing Deceivers." Well, you're at the point where you're just exposing yourself automatically now, Jason. So great, you're exposing a deceiver yourself. It always happens with those who boasting that there's something special. You can guarantee they are complete opposite to what they're boasting. I mean, look at countries as well. United States, they're not united. United Kingdom, we're not really as united as we should be. But then I think, oh, we might be getting there, but we've still got problems. It's in the title because it's what you're trying to be, because you know you're not. Or you're trying to sell that bullshit to the rest of the world. Really, and that's the same with people, individual people as well. And by the way, Jason was trying to sell the perspective that his recent flagged videos were flagged for defamation legitimately and properly and legally, were apparently only taken down in Scotland. The UK includes Scotland, Northern Ireland, England and Wales, so it's a lot worse than he knows it's worse. It's a lot worse than he's trying to sell it to his viewers. The whole of UK. Yeah. Right. Thank you for watching. And I know people have said don't keep making videos about this asshole. Sometimes it's justified. And he will not stop. He won't. Whether he make video or not. I guarantee. He doesn't know what else to do. If he wanted to stop, he can't. You hear it in his voice. Oh, I'm sick of doing this. This is the last video. How many? You could go back 6 months. He's saying, oh, this is the last video I'm going to make on this. We need to move on to more interesting stuff. And he just keeps going and keeps going and going and going. Because as long as he's being pointed out by people for his erroneous bullshit that he's trying to scam you into buying with super chats and donations and so on, as long as that's being pointed out, the more he will try and smear campaign those who are pointing out his bullshittery. It's that simple. He is that childish, he is that primitive, he is that backward. Do yourself a favour and stop supporting a scammer. He's a snake oil salesman, that's what he is. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Take care, and I look forward to doing another video soon. Go and subscribe to sparkane. Not that he really needs them, but he earns them. I know he's got, what, 6,000 subscribers, but that's cool. You know, I'm not about big numbers per se. I'm just driving my bus. Of course, I do want it to grow. Yeah, and I'm not doing this for clout. I know the haters would see this video and make that accusation. I'm way ahead here. I know how you think, and how you think is just low-grade bullshit. It really is. Try to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, rather than just blurting out a load of garbage because you're Jason's bitch. By the way, thanks for watching. Bye.